Chitlin Circuit, a tongue-in-cheek nickname for black music venues where artists could play and stay during the segregated 30s and 40s and all the way through the civil rights movement of the 60s. In a time of whites-only lunch counters and colored-labeled lodging, black entertainers weren't welcome to perform in many mainstream places, and if they did, they had to come and go through the back door. They weren't allowed to sit in the audience, eat at a table, or even try on a hat or jacket in a whites-only store.
So you have to be humiliated. Well, the African-American businesses picked up that, they filled in that void. So you could go there and not be insulted. You didn't have to sit in the back, or you didn't have to sit around the corner.
The stroll, also known as Black Main Street, began on Desert near 6th Street by the railroad tracks, stretching down to 14th Street. The centerpiece and crown jewel of the strip, the Milroy Building at 10th and Desert. The Milroy Building was put on the National Registry for Historical Places in 2011, and there has been a lot of interest in restoring it. The four walls are still intact, but since the roof collapsed, the building is in a race against time.
It's just been abandoned and left to time. The only things standing really are the four outside walls. The entire center of it has collapsed. This is a lost piece of history here. Not many people know about it. I think it would be a showplace for our history here in Monroe.
Even though the Monroe City Council voted to tear it down in 2010 to rid the city of blight, Mayor Mayo was happy to see it on the historical registry and is hopeful it'll be restored to its former glory.
The Milroy Building was something that the black community could organize and be a part of and also be proud of. This was a heart and soul of a gathering place where black Americans could come here in the city of Monroe.
Pastor Roosevelt Wright agrees. His office used to be in the Milroy Building. Now all you can see is debris scattered on the floor.
If they tried to restore it into a 1929, 1930 look, and if they had big band performances or times when they did something like that, school tourisms and things like that alone would be able to make it a profitable venture.
You won't hear any argument from Brenda Roy. Her grandfather, Dr. Joseph C. Roy, is the Roy of Milroy, erecting the building with friend and colleague Dr. John T. Miller. Brenda's connection to the building goes even deeper. Her uncle is the famous blues singer and pianist, Ivory Joe Hunter. His office and recording studio were on the second floor of the building. She used to visit him there as a child.
He'd written over 5,000 songs.
Oh my gosh.
Some were actually sung by Sonny James, Elvis Presley.
Looking back, Brenda regrets not paying more attention to Uncle Joe. As a kid, she had no idea how famous he really was.
He played for our birthdays. He played all the time. He came in, if he had a new song, he came in the house and played it for us first. And we were like, okay, that's old and slow, and we didn't want to hear it. That I am not